Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over the setup on the Bitcoin chart and just briefly review a few of the indications that we have going on here. As you can see, it is a mixed day in the stock market. Things aren't looking that great overall, but we do have some setups that suggest that we can squeeze some bullishness out of the market still. And part of that, of course, is that we do have these series of higher lows on the lower time frames and a potential squeeze on the daily EMAs here on the Bitcoin chart. If I do go ahead and just throw on the daily analysis that I've done here, then we can see that as of this afternoon, we are holding on top of the alpha momentum pool over here, and that is good news. You can see that being on top of the alpha momentum pool, we do have that pump, and perhaps we can even work our way back up to 16,750, where we should be able to just continue to carve this out and put in some bullishness with this 21 EMA. We will lose significant momentum underneath 16,645 by the close tomorrow, which could take us to our range lows where we would like to hold above 16,578 and significantly above 16,564 for our daily volatility to perhaps push us in the upward direction. As long as we're above that volatility pivot, our bias is going to be to the upside when this volatility finally does explode to one of the two directions. Now volatility is direction neutral, so we do use momentum in order to just get a cue as to which direction the chart may want to explode towards. And in this case, the alpha momentum pool, as well as just these last resorts down here, are telling us that at least on the daily chart, we do have a chance to pop to the upside. Now, the 2-day is going to be closing at the same time that the daily is tomorrow. So let's go ahead and put on the 2-day analysis. And you can see that it's pretty similar to the daily. In fact, I'll just briefly overlap them. And you can see not much of a difference. The daily is considerably skinnier, and it also has critical support a lot higher. So the risk on the daily is that we could easily lose our footing should we get below that alpha momentum pool. But we are well above it right now, so not much to worry about. And if we do look at the 2-day, you can see that the pool does have a much wider stance. So we have all the way down to 16,612 before we lose any significant momentum. In other words, no problem if we have a pullback. And we'd like to hold above 16,670 though, for the same reasons that we would on the daily, which is that we could still be in a squeeze. And now this squeeze on the 2-day can actually take us all the way up here to around 16,900, 17,000. A lot of people are targeting 17,200, 17,300, but that would actually take us above our current volatility pivot, which would indicate that if we got above that, there could be even more upside to this move. So if we do put in, a daily candle or a series of 4-hour candles above 17,000, that's going to bode well because the 2-day has a very similar volatility setup as the daily, which is that if we do get above that volatility pivot, we should be able to expand our price action to the upside. However, and this is a key point here, Alpha Fam, if we do get trapped underneath 17,000, let's say that we bump our head on this really downward angled 21 EMA, and we just get trapped in this chop, then should that 2-day volatility start exploding, it could actually explode us to the downside, okay? Now, I just want to remind you what we looked at previously, which is that the daily has a volatility pivot down here at 16,500. So we could play ping pong within that range without really knowing what's decisively going to happen on the macro. And just because only the 2-day and the daily are closing tomorrow, a lot of the other time frames are still working their way out, and I reviewed in the last episode. Please check out the last episode if you want a detailed analysis for Solana and also Litecoin as well as Bitcoin. I did do 3-in-1 and a very detailed analyses for all of them on multiple time frames. However, for Bitcoin, we do have the 2-day closing tomorrow, and so I did want to just contrast it with the daily. So, guys, those are going to be your key levels to watch. Just to do a quick summary of that. Again, on the daily, you do want to see us hold above 16,670 as well as on the 2-day. For the daily, we will lose critical momentum under 16,645, and we will also have a little bit of support and the possibility to bounce around 16,500 and let's just say 80-ish. And we really don't want to lose below 16,564, or that could be very dangerous with our volatility in its current position. And for the 2-day, almost the same thing. We do need to hold above 16,670, but our range for a potential upside is currently around this 17,000. Should we be able to hold above that 16,670 momentum line, lose that, we're really not in danger of losing our momentum until under 16,612, and we should be able to potentially catch ourselves above 16,428. A little bit more range on the 2-day if you're just trading that chart. But the 2-day does often lead into the 5-day pretty easily, and the 5-day leads into the weekly, and then we're talking about macro stuff. So it is important to just keep your eye on the limitations of the 2-day when it does close. So you can really see that if I just add the daily really just fills out the middle here, but combine the daily with the 2-day, and you can start to see our current range that we're working in on a momentum basis, taking into account those volatility risk. Okay, guys, both of them are set up for a potential squeeze, but we are getting a little bit of continuous resistance at the 21. What we really want to see is the 21 curl up. This is the daily. Here's the 2-day. And so you really want to see that yellow line start to curl up. You can see just how draconian the 21 is to the downside on the 2-day, which is why we probably have that hard limit up here potentially, which could just slap us down again, whereas the daily has much more of a gentle curl on it, which could easily just unfurl to the upside. But guys, I am going to end it there. That was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.